Well, it's tough to go against any of these teams now because you got 16 teams left in the tournament, and the one thing they have in common, they're all hot. That's why they're still playing. We want you to get the games that we're advertising. They'll cost you a few bucks, but we think you're going to make a lot of money in the process. But here's something that's not going to cost you anything, and that's our daily free plays from Jim and myself that you can get on a text message sent right to your cell phone. It's as simple as can be. To get mine, you text Cokin, C-O-K-I-N, to 313131. Jim, same story with you. A free play every day on a text message.
That's right, Dave. Just text WINNER, W-I-N-N-E-R, to 313131. We'll send you a free play right to your cell phone each and every day. That's WINNER to 313131. Now, you go back to the Baylor game. I'd like to mention one other thing about Baylor. They played in the championship game against Iowa State, and a lot of people thought Baylor should have won that game. I made a big play on Iowa State in that game, and there was one reason and one reason only. Not because I really felt the other team was better. They looked about even to me. Baylor was playing their fourth game in 4 days. That is impossible for a college team to do that. They don't do that. Pros don't do that. And then Iowa State had a little bit of an advantage there. They were playing their third game in 3 days. So there was an advantage of one game, which is very fatiguing. And at the end of that game, Baylor dominated the entire game until about the last 5 or 6 minutes, and Iowa State took over and won the game. So you can't put a knock on Baylor for that loss. It was strictly a scheduling issue. They kept winning. They ended up, they played well, and now they're playing well again. And all these teams are having plenty of rest coming into this game, so it's not going to be a factor.
All right, well, San Diego State and Arizona are going to meet, and this is a dynamite West Coast matchup. They met early in the season with the Wildcats pulling out a win. There isn't any secret about San Diego State. They're not a very good offensive basketball team. Thames is the only guy who can create a shot. He has been spectacular. He's the Mountain West Player of the Year. Arizona would have the offensive edge, but boy, I'm telling you what, this Aztec team on defense is as fierce as they get. Steve Fisher is a great basketball coach, and he's going to have his team ready. And with this time to prepare, he's going to come up with defensive wrinkles that are going to make life tough on Arizona. At the same time, the Wildcats have overcome a crucial injury to Ashley. They look like they're playing basically at the same level they did before he got hurt. I mean, they sleepwalked through the game against Weber State, got up by 21, and then put it on cruise control, which actually bothered me a bit because I had Arizona in the game and should have covered, but they didn't. But they got it the next game. They got it done, and that was a really impressive performance over the weekend. That was a dominating performance by Arizona. I think, look, San Diego State is going to make this a very tough and ugly basketball game because that's what San Diego State does. If you want pretty basketball, watch something else because you're not going to see it in this game. This is going to be nasty, physical. Shots are going to be contested. San Diego State's going to try and turn this into not a dirty game, but a physical grinder, just nasty game. And I think they're going to do it. To me, I do believe Arizona's going to win the game. I have not made a decision as to whether to play the game on the spread or not. But I got to tell you something. First team to 60 wins this game. There's not going to be a lot of points scored here. This is San Diego State is going to go out there and just turn it into an alley fight. And I think Arizona is going to be right there with them. Arizona doesn't back down from anybody. They're a tough, physical team themselves. Not really a Pac-10 style or Pac-12 style team. If you want to look at how they kind of play in the Pac-12, UCLA, Stanford, these teams like to get up into California, like to get up and down the court, play fun basketball that's very enjoyable to watch. Arizona, they just as soon get gritty and down and dirty. I think these teams will collide. I think it's going to be you could argue, a terrible game from a standpoint of offense. I'm maybe 50 points in the first half, maybe a little more as they wear down in the second half. But 122 looks high to me, guys. I think the under's the side here, or the total here. John?
Well, I have some concerns with this San Diego State team. All year long, they're not a great shooting team. 0.437% for the year. That's 202nd in the country. And just look what they've done recently. They lost in the Mountain West Conference tourney to New Mexico, scoring just 58 points. And then the last two games, they blew out North Dakota State. They also went overtime against New Mexico State. Only shot 39% for the game in that one. Just 6 of 17 from long range. That game was in Spokane. And their lack of height certainly was a concern in that game. And boy, is it going to ever be a concern against this Arizona team, which is just so loaded. You want to start with defense for Arizona. Tops in the Pac-12 in points allowed, just 60 points per game. Tops in field goal shooting. Defense under 40%. And people may make out of the fact that they lost to UCLA, a red-hot team in that Pac-12 tourney game. But look at the previous two games. They won by 20 and 32 points. And then the last game against a Gonzaga team that I liked, boy, they just manhandled them, 84-61. Yeah, 8 block shots. One guy, the Pac-12 Player of the Year, a guard of all people, Nick Johnson, had 4 of those block shots. They also set an Arizona record for steals in a tourney game with 15 that ran off 21 points. So I'm going to take the Arizona height in this game. Arizona, when they're playing in non-conference games, they're 21-8 against the spread, and they've already won at San Diego State. So, Jim, I'm going to back Arizona.
Well, I don't blame you. I mean, the market is backing Arizona. The game opened 6, it's up to 7.5. And the total is about 121.5. See some 122s. So it's in that range, Dave, as you talked about 60 points. When you look at over and under stats, you got the under is in Aztec games 15-5 versus Pac-12 teams, and the under in the Wildcat games are 14-6. So you got all the stats, and of course the marketplace has put up a very low number in 121, 122, something there. So I kind of agree with that. There's no question that Arizona has played a superior schedule. When you look at and they're the top-rated team in the country, or one of the top-rated teams in the country, and for a good reason. And if the game is that ugly, you can always put this game on one of your TVs and keep it silent and turn on the Playboy channel.
I could do that.
I like that strategy. It's not bad. All right.